The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Good morning, evening, afternoon. My name is Ron Zucker. Welcome to the program for this 24th day of April 2024. Did you know that this year's past 420, 420, 2024 was the same forwards and backwards? It was a palindrome, amongst other things. All right, so change on the schedule. It was supposed to be Milwaukee and Oakland, but since we were with you last, the Twins swept the A's in a doubleheader that next day, and so the margin between Oakland and Minnesota is now 8 games. And while Milwaukee is in first place in the American League East, the A's are going to have to start winning again to get back on the broadcast, which is exactly what the Los Angeles Dodgers have done over the last couple of weeks. They were 7.5 behind the Reds, sputtering out of control, swept in a doubleheader here on the channel to the San Diego Padres, and now went to Cincinnati, beat the snot out of them, and they are now in first place by half a game. Happy birthday, Scotty. And so they go into the Astrodome to face Nolan Ryan and the Houston Astros. Ryan not having a great year, but it might be the only chance we have all season to feature Nolan Ryan, his opponent, some guy by the name of Hershiser. Oral Hershiser. So a top pitching matchup here. The Dodgers are in first. They're 42-32. The Astros are just 5.5 back. They're not out of it, but they got to win. And wait till you see the picture of the Astrodome I'm using. So that's the setup for you. Nolan Ryan, Oral Hershiser, Dodgers, and Astros. It's a Wednesday. It's good. If you're ready, let's do this, shall we? As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 1988. Today from the Astrodome, or the Harris County Dome Stadium, if you want to get pedantic. In Houston, Texas, it's the Houston Astros and the Los Angeles Dodgers. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. You stay there. And hey, it actually came on. So the Dodgers have won 9 of 10 coming into this, and Nolan Ryan continues to not pitch well. 4-9 with a 4.66 ERA. Ryan, who did not have a great one-loss record in 1987, but had an earned run average that should have been a Cy Young Award. This year he's 4-9. Again, the offense not hitting behind him, but he has an earned run average of 4.66. That's not great. Nolan is 41 years old. The Ryan Express is at 93. He's a fly ball pitcher, and so the Astrodome and Ryan are a good match. This will be the last of his 8 or 9 seasons he pitched in Houston before he went up I-45 to Dallas to close out his career for the Rangers. He last pitched on the 24th, so he's on 5 days rest. Against the Giants, he lost 6-2, 7 innings, 118 pitches, 8 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. A home run. He walked 2 and struck out 6. His season high for strikeouts is 12. That came against the Expos on May 7th. Overall, how you doing, John? 106 in the third innings, 98 hits, 61 runs, 55 earned, 10 homers. He's walked 35. I mean, he turned the corner. He's got his control, and has struck out 120. But the last thing kind of resembling a quality start would have been June 13th against the Braves, a 2-1 win, where he struck out 7. Drunk again? My goodness. So Ryan has made 11 quality starts out of his 16. 17th start of the year. Here's how the Dodgers line up. Steve Sachs will lead off at second base. Franklin Stubbs will bat second and play first. Kirk Gibson in left will go third. Mike Marshall in right will clean up. John Shelby in center will bat 5th. Mike Scioscia behind the plate will go 6th. Jeff Hamilton at 3rd will bat 7th. Dave Anderson at short goes 8th, and Oral Hershiser on the mound will bat 9th. Ryan, pending his control, can go about 8 innings. He's got 125 pitches in the arsenal. As I've got to sneeze. It'll be Billy Hatcher as we set the Astro defense for you. A 4 and a 4 and left. Young is in center field. He's a 7 and a 7. And Meadows, is a 1 and a 7 in right. That's very interesting to have not even a radar range and a 7 arm. It'll be Buddy Bell at 3rd. He's a 6. Craig Reynolds, a 5 at short, leftover from their heyday. Billy Doran is a 6 at 2nd. Glenn Davis a 6 at 1st. Craig Biggio is an 8 and a 6 behind the plate. And Ryan on the mound has a 7 range, but not a great fielding percentage at 867. Whether or not a factor inside, and I think that this picture was from 1965. I believe that is grass at the Astrodome. Although it is an artificial surface field. The field was already done up. I didn't have to do it. Steve Sachs coming in at 284, 2 homers, and 18 RBI. So Ryan's ready, and Sachs is ready, and we're ready. And this one will start with strike 3. An 0-2 fastball on the inside corner, and for Ryan, that's number 121. Here's Franklin Stubbs. Franklin at 226, 4 homers and 14 RBI. So don't forget, Friday, we're live on YouTube at 6 p.m. The great aunt of my high school best friend, John says, used to say that. Or she'd ask you when you walked in, instead of just hello, she'd say, "How you doing? Drunk again?" Was her name Mrs. Robinson? Always thought she had a screw loose, but I think it's just an old-fashioned saying. Stubbs strikes out. Ryan's got a good morning and a good afternoon. A 1-2 fastball swung on and missed. My mom would say when I was a kid, as Kirk Gibson steps up, hitting .321, 18 homers, and 53 RBI, she'd ask you, "How's Trix?" Which is either a bridge player or what a lady of the evening would turn. And so when I asked a teacher who was a bit evangelical when I was in the 4th grade, "How's Trix?" Well, I didn't get my face slapped, but I got a filthy look. Pitch to Gibby, and he draws the walk. So Gibson flips the bat down to first. Full count fastball was high and barely outside. 2 out for Marshall, hitting .265, 8 homers and 45 RBI. Gibson not a threat to steal, and he's back. Someone asked me about that with Canseco the other day. Sometimes you can't see the runner on first, but I think in that particular case, the computer threw over, and in this particular case, Canseco was actually not a threat to go. Gibson isn't. Marshall gets hit. So it's first and second, 2 out for John Shelby, hitting .282, 4 homers and 27 RBI. I can honestly say that in the close to 1,700 videos that I've done for this channel, I've never done one drunk. Shelby, slow ground ball to Reynolds. Craig is going to go to first. Shelby's not running. Oh, maybe he is. The throw to first. Davis, not in time. I thought Shelby was going to be out, but much like our truck driver, found a second gear, and the bases are loaded, 2 out. For Scioscia, hitting .221, 3 homers and 28 RBI. Ryan, deep breath, ground ball to third. Bell's got it, and he'll go to Davis. Is this going to be in time? Scioscia's running, and he is out on a bang-banger. So that'll do it. The Dodgers leave the bases loaded. Speaking of being drunk, a hit a walk, and a hit batsman. And after half an inning, it's the Dodgers nothing. Here come the Astros. So here is Oral Hershiser. Oral's 30. Fastball at 87 and a ground ball pitcher, making his 16th start. He's 7-5 with a 3.07 ERA. And that kind of fits because remember, when he went on that tear, it was all in the second half of the season. He last pitched on the 24th against the Reds in a 5-3 win. He went the distance. In fact, his last two starts, he's gone the distance. 109 pitches, 5 hits, 3 runs all earned, a home run, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. And that was his first win in a month. So for Hershiser, 120 in a third innings, 97 hits, 49 runs, 41 earned, 9 homers. He's walked 34 and struck out 74. They're playing for the bunt for Gerald Young, who will lead off in center field for Houston. First time we've had the Astros on the channel this season. Craig Reynolds at second will bat short. Craig Reynolds at short will bat second. You sure you're not drunk again, Ron? Billy Doran will bat third and play second. Glenn Davis cleans up at first. Buddy Bell at third, over from the Reds, will bat fifth. Billy Hatcher in left, he'll go sixth. Louis Meadows. If you remember him, you're a pretty good fan. He's in right, he'll bat seventh. Craig Biggio behind the plate goes eighth, and the Ryan Express, not much of a hitter, will bat ninth. And Hershiser, as you'd expect, could go about 1,000 innings. 135 pitches. Dodgers infield now playing back. It'll be Kirk Gibson a 5 and a 3 in left, John Shelby a 5 and a 5 in center, and Mike Marshall a 2 and a 6 in right. Jeff Hamilton a 4 at third. Dave Anderson writing for the Times an 8 at short. Steve Sachs a 4 at second. Franklin Stubbs, his defense is redacted. Mike Scioscia a 9 and a 6 behind the plate, and Hershiser is at 10 on the mound with a .939 fielding percentage. Young steps in at 223, a homer, and 24 RBI. Ground ball to Sachs, makes a great play over to Stubbs, who's a 5, by the way, makes the play, and there is one out. So Sachs, 9 great plays to 4 poor plays. Just in case you were wondering. Craig Reynolds steps in at 152. Miska Muska Musketeer with an RBI and 2 doubles. There's a fly ball to right. Marshall has it for the out, and there's 2 away. So here's Billy Doran. Bill, the veteran, hitting .244, 2 homers, and 24 RBI. Fly ball right field. Marshall will help retire the side in order. And after 1 inning, it's the Dodgers nothing, Houston nothing. So, John, are you sure that the great aunt of your best buddy wasn't a lush herself? Not to expunge on anyone's reputation. Jeff Hamilton hitting .201, 5 homers, and 20 RBI. There's a fly ball, left field. Back goes Hatcher, and way back there, and foul. It's a computer-drawn park. I didn't move anything there. And that was a moonshot into Space City. And it's a long, loud strike. The count is 0-2. Ryan winds and fires. Struck him out. That's 3 for Nolan. He got him to swing and miss on a split-finger change. 1 out for Anderson. Hitting .250, no homers, and 6 RBI. Reason why we're not on tomorrow at noon, pitch to Anderson. Struck him out. That's 4 for Ryan. So again, a good morning and a good afternoon. An 0-2 curve chased. And now I'll bring up Hershiser hitting .150 with 2 triples and 2 RBI. Ryan winds and fires. That is up the middle. Young will make the catch, and that'll do it. So no runs, no hits, and no errors. Dodgers go in order here in the second, and there is still no score. So 4, 5, and 6 for Houston. Glenn Davis, Buddy Bell, and Billy Hatcher. Davis at 255, 15 homers and 51 RBI. Dave and I will be talking to Adam Kribbles, I believe his name is. Adam has written a book about the New York Knicks from their last championship in 1973 to when they drafted Patrick Ewing, and compared it to the decay and the revival of New York City in that time period. So we look forward to spending some time with him at lunch tomorrow. Will not be a live episode, it'll be taped. And Adam is a game player himself, so we'll be talking about that as well. So that's what we got going on tomorrow. So Adam Kribbles, Criblez, will be on Digital Dice tomorrow, and we're taping that at lunch. Pitch to Davis. Struck him out. First for Hershiser. 2-2 curveball, swung on and missed. Sean's driving. He's gone quiet. Buddy Bell, 138 and an RBI. Came over from the Reds on June 19th. So 10 days with Houston. I'm surprised Rose got rid of him. Rose liked his veterans behind him. And in those last 10 days, the Dodgers have caught fire and taken first place in the West. Pitch to Bell. Base hit past Sachs into right field. So the first hit for the Astros. Here's Billy Hatcher hitting .234, 2 homers and 27 RBI. That's why I took it, Jamie. Ryan and Hershiser, although Ryan is having an off year. And this is certainly a retro shot of the Astrodome. And Hershiser commits an 88 and balks. So on the 2-2, Bill goes to second. And whoever the home plate umpire is, he's still having a better day than Hunter Wendelstedt. My goodness. Pitch to Hatcher. There's a base hit in the left center field. Gibson will cut it off. Bell will hold at third. So runners on the corners, 1 out for Louis Meadows. If you're not familiar with Louis Meadows, neither is anybody else. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Louis is 27 years old. Came up on June 21st. And that's about all I can tell you about him. 1 out. Runner on third is Bell. Hatcher on first, and Meadows strikes out. A 1-2 curve, and Hershiser got him looking. So here's Biggio. Craig is 3 for 9. Hitting .333, a double and a triple. He does not have an RBI. Now, in a future issue of Sports Gaming Journal, Mr. Marshall cornered me, and we did some Q&A. Won't be in the next one, I don't think, but it will be probably whenever Jamie wants to push it. So one of the things that when I see Craig Biggio as a catcher that has to do with gaming, you know, one of those do a draft league on your own things back in the mid-90s with my floppy disk version of Strat is that I had Biggio on the Tigers. And it will be in the June issue. Oh, nice. Okay, so the midsummer issue. So I have to remind myself when I see Biggio as a catcher, because he wasn't a catcher all that long, to remind myself that he never played for the Tigers. Runners on the corners. Biggio laces this one in the left center field for a base hit. Bell will score. Hatcher stops at second. Goes to third. The throw is cut off, and Houston leads at 1-0. For Nolan Ryan, hitting .040, 1 for 25, which is 4%. He has 2 RBI. He scored 3 times and struck out 10. So 2 out again, runners on the corners. Astros 1-0 here in the second. Hershiser deals. Ryan a ground ball to third. Hamilton's got it. Long throw to Stubbs, and Ryan isn't going to find the afterburners, and that will retire the side. But Houston gets a run on 3 hits and no errors. We go to the third here at the Dome, 1-0 Houston. So opening 9 for Ryan. Not very neat and tidy. 47 pitches, 2 innings, a hit batsman, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. Sachs struck out to start the game. Fly ball, right field, Meadows, 1 out. For Stubbs, who struck out his first time up. Meadows this time down the line and right will make the catch, and there's 2 out. It's the thing with Ryan. You know, once he could harness his fastball, then learn how to trust the defense behind him. Gibson walked his first time up. Fly ball, right field. And he'll get the entire side, as Jamie says. Meadows making the most of his time on RSN today. He's pulling a Dave Stegman. My goodness, he makes all 3 outs here in the third. No runs, no hits, and no errors. After 2.5, Astros 2, Dodgers 1. Astros 1. Dodgers nothing. So top of the lineup for Houston, Young, Reynolds, and Doran. Gerald is 0 for 1. Hershiser, not a neat and tidy 45 pitches for 9 batters. 2 innings, 3 hits, and 2 strikeouts. Right back up the box, Hershiser throws to first for the out. Reynolds is 0 for 1. My wife is making pea soup. I'm going to throw a little pork roast in there. And I got to tell you what, it just smells delicious in here. I can't wait. Pitch to Reynolds. Into right field, Marshall. Are you going to watch The Exorcist as well? Is that code for something, Gardner? Oh, that has to do with the split pea soup. Here's Billy Doran. He's 0 for 1. That's gone. Marshall turns and watches it go. And Doran has his 3rd of the year, and it's 2-0 Houston. And sets off that scoreboard show in left center and in right center. Let's watch this again. Hershiser right down the line, and there wasn't anything Marshall could do. Jamie says as a kid he had pea soup after we had a baked ham. Steeler fan is in the house. Doran made pea soup out of that ball, yeah. How you doing, Dave? Dave asked if they played all their games at the Astrodome. No, they played at a ballpark that is now in Mexico. It was called Colt Stadium. Glenn Davis struck out his first time up. When Houston got the National League in 62, this was always on the drawing board, but they needed to have a place to play. So they literally threw together a modular stadium while they were building the Astrodome, called Colt Stadium. And when they were done, when this place opened in 65, and I think there's grass on this field, they literally moved it lock, stock, and barrel to Mexico. John says when Ryan was dealing with arm trouble in 84, he was out on a pitch count of 100. I think that may have had something to do with learning how to pitch more efficiently. That makes sense. It's the first time I've heard of a pitch count. Yep, summer of 84. I think the Mets were big into that, although you wouldn't have known it for good. Steeler fan didn't even have to leave after last night's Kansas City Royals winning of the 72 World Series. Congratulations to them and Robert finishing another season of his replay. The Astros gave it a run. Pitch to Davis. Up the middle. Sachs has it on the turf, throws to first for the out. So that'll do it. But Billy Doran's homer, the lone hit of the inning, and after 3, it's 2-0 Houston. So Marshall, Shelby, and Scioscia to face Ryan here in the 4th. Yeah, I was a teenager when we started to hear about pitch counts. And if you're wondering, there is no default picture for the Astrodome in Action PC Baseball. That's true. Now guys are lucky if they can make it to 100 pitches on a normal outing or their first Tommy John, whichever comes first. Pitch to Marshall. And that's, whoa, okay. Apparently we weren't done with this one. In the recent documentary about Ryan, Jamie says he talked about wanting to strike out every batter he faced. Pretty impressive numbers he was still able to put up trying to strike out every batter. Ryan, I suppose, would be a prototypical modern pitcher because that's what they want you to do today. But he never had Tommy John. Marshall was hit by a pitch his first time up. And that is fouled, third base side. Let's see if we can fix this. That part didn't get fixed. All right. So if you're wondering how this is done, all right, that should take care of everyone leaping. Just gotta move those. Apparently they weren't done. So, but they got the rest of it right. An 0-2 to Marshall. Ryan winds and fires, and Marshall walked. So Ryan had him down 0-2, and then lost him as the full count fastball bounces at the plate through that split finger. John Shelby singled his first time up. Saw a recent picture, like within the last couple of weeks, in one of the 1,000 Facebook baseball groups I belong to, of Ryan and Seaver together in Mets jackets. And Nolan Ryan made the World Series in '69 and got a ring, and in fact got a win. John says thinking about Ryan is that he was effectively wild, which is true. He wasn't all over the place, as his walk stats would seem to indicate. He just wouldn't give in to batters. No, he did not want them to make contact with the ball. As that just shows, as Ryan has struck out his 5th, the 2-2 fastball swung on and missed. Here's Scioscia, he's 0 for 1. Base hit left field. Hatcher will pick it up. So Marshall, is he going to go to third? Nope, runners on first and second. 1 out for Hamilton, who struck out his first time up. Biggio goes out to have a word. Ryan says, you bring the Advil? Nolan deals. Slow ground ball to Reynolds. Craigs goes to first. Hamilton's running. Davis makes the play, and now on the bang-banger, 2 out. So second and third, tying run is Scioscia. Here's Anderson. Dave struck out his first time up. He had, and maybe still does, the lowest batting average against of any starting pitcher in baseball history. Yeah. Base hit right field. Marshall's going to score. Scioscia rounds third. Doran should have had it. Gets the stink eye from Ryan. Meadows is going to throw to the plate. Here comes the throw. It's going to be close, and he's out. So Meadows throws him out, and that will retire the side. Dodgers get a run on a couple of hits, and after 3.5, it's 2-1 Houston. Yeah, Meadows It's Dave Stegman from 1988. So here are the standings. In the East, the Mets by 6.5. How you doing, Tribe fan? Over Pittsburgh and 8.5 over the Cardinals. In the West, the Dodgers have taken over. A half game on Cincinnati, 5.5 on San Diego, and 5.5 on Houston. Take care, John. In the American League East, Milwaukee 3 over Boston and Toronto. 5 over the Tigers, 6 over the Yankees. Cleveland has fallen off the train. And in the West, the Twins up by 4 on the Royals and 8 on the A's. The Dodgers tied for the National League lead in hitting and tied for the National League lead in pitching. And Kirk Gibson leading the NL at hitting .321. Ryan leads the National League in strikeouts. Buddy Bell over from the Reds. Singled and scored in the second. Gets away from Socha on strike 3. The throw down to Stubbs, and Bell is out. So here's Hatcher. Billy singled his first time up. It's amazing how they got this field in such tip-top shape less than 24 hours after the Royals played here last night. Base hit left center field for Hatcher. Fifth hit for the Astros. Here's Louis Meadows. He struck out his first time up. If he gets a hit here, he's made a bunch of catches in right field and threw out the tying run at the plate. Hatcher, a threat to steal. There he goes. Socha throws down to Anderson, and Billy's out. So Socha with a good strike, and they got him 2-6. So 2 out and a 1-strike count to Meadows. Helpful if you hit the right button. Right back up the mound. Hershiser throws to first, and that will retire the side. So the caught stealing is big. No runs, a hit, no errors, and nobody left. After 4, it's Houston 2, LA 1. So Ryan versus Hershiser. To start the 5th, Oral is 0 for 1. Line drive to Reynolds, 1 out. They'd make a run in '89, if I remember correctly, Houston, right? San Francisco, of course, won the pennant that year. But Mike Scott and his split-finger fastball became best buddies again. And Houston had a pretty good season. Steve Sachs is 0 for 2 in the strikeout. Ryan, 81 pitches, 18 batters, 4 1/3, 3 hits, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. In the right, Meadows coming in. Make the most of your time on the channel, my friend. 2 out. For Franklin Stubbs, who's 0 for 2 in the strikeout. Chopper to Doran, over to Davis for the out. So Ryan 3 up, 3 down, and after halfway on a rainy, chilly 43-degree day here in town, Astros 2, Dodgers 1. Where did the mouse go? Being told the Astros won 86 and 89. Join us late, 2-1 Houston, 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Astros. A run on 3 hits and no errors for the Dodgers. Houston got an RBI single from Craig Biggio to make it 1-0 in the second to score Buddy Bell. And I don't remember Bell being on the Astros either, but apparently he was. In the third, Billy Doran, a home run down the line and right. His third of the year to make it 2-0. And in the fourth, the Dodgers got one back. Dave Anderson single to score Mike Marshall. And in this pitching duel, it'll Hershiser 5-hitter through 4. He has struck out 3. And Ryan has allowed 3 hits through 5 and struck out 5. Biggio, Ryan, and Young here in the fifth. Craig had an RBI single. Struck him out. That's 4 for Hershiser. 1-2. 1 out on the fastball. So here's Ryan. Dolan will stay in the game, obviously. Ground ball to short. Anderson by the bag at second, as it turns out, over to Stubbs for the out. 2 away. So here's Gerald Young. Young is 0 for 2. Hershiser, 18 batters, 74 pitches, 4 2/3. 5 hits, the home run to Doran, and 4 strikeouts. Lines and fires. Ground ball to Anderson. Dave dives in the hole, throws to Stubbs, and Young is retired. So a clean fifth for Hershiser. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the sixth. It's 2-1 Houston. Steeler fan, when did you move down into Texas? Here's Gibson. Gibby is 0 for 1 with a walk. Ryan starts the sixth. Struck him out. That's 6 for Nolan. And Nolan's getting him on breaking ball stuff. That was a change. Gibson was looking fastball, and Ryan got him to chase something that was a Bugs Bunny speed. Here's Marshall. He walked and scored the lone Dodger run in the fourth. Struck him out. So again, a good morning and a good afternoon. A 1-2 fastball got him looking. So Ryan's high this year is 12. Here's John Shelby. John, 1 for 2, a single and a strikeout. Got him! Ryan strikes out the side. A 2-2 fastball inside will do it. And the Dodgers go in order in the sixth. And after 5.5, it's still 2-1 Houston. So Reynolds, Doran, and Davis to face Hershiser here in the sixth. Craig is 0 for 2. Hey, how about Max Fried? A complete game shutout last night for Atlanta. First time was in 76 at the age of 2, which he remembers so well. Left in 85 and came back in 88. So what would you say your favorite team from this era would be? 80? 86? I mean, obviously, the World Series years would be what you want. Ground ball to Sachs. Over to Stubbs. And Reynolds is out. So 1 out for Doran. Billy with that solo homer in the third. Draws the walk. Now, definitely 86. I can understand that. Hershiser missed high and tight with a 3-0 curve. That 81 team doesn't get a lot of love. They made the playoffs. Maybe with some of that best pitching, too. Tribe fan says in an almost Greg Maddux-like hour and 54 minutes. My goodness. Red Sox had a game that went an hour and 45 last week. It's almost as short as these streams. Davis 0 for 2. Glenn has struck out once. Runner on first, 1 out. Sosha and Hershiser converge. Worrell says, I'm fine. Fly ball, left field. Gibson makes the catch for the out. Even though you were in Ohio in 86. So was Tribe fan. Yeah, it was the complete game against Cleveland. That was that short of a game. It was the fastest game since Armando Galarraga's should have been perfect game. Here's Buddy Bell. Buddy 1 for 2. He has singled, scored, and struck out. 2-1 Astros, 2 out here in the 6th. Doran on first. Bell up the middle over the mound. Anderson gobbles it up, throws to Stubbs, and Bell is out on a bang-banger. So no runs, no hits. They don't go in order. Astros have left on 3, and after 6, it's still 2-1 Houston. So Scioscia, Hamilton, and Anderson to face Ryan. And Nolan has struck out 8 through 6. Scioscia 1 for 2 with a single. I want to say that this is grass, which would put it the picture from 1965. But I see a football setup out. I think it's a football setup. Certainly is a full infield. Now, in what would become a problem spot with domes, pitch to Scioscia. Ground ball to Davis. Glenn has it. Not Big Baby, but steps on the bag anyway for the out. You lose pop-ups. In fact, our friend who is a Twins fan said that about Tommy Herr when he went to Minneapolis, is that you tend to lose balls when you're playing day games because they get caught in that kind of murky twilight. Here's Hamilton. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And so what they did was paint the top of the dome, and then you had a bigger problem. The grass died. They didn't know how to keep it. Today, you just reel it in on trays, but that wasn't around in 1965. And so they played on dead grass most of the first year, and then they came up with something called AstroTurf. Struck him out. That's 9 for Ryan. Full count fastball got him on the outside corner. So 2 out here in the 7th for Anderson. Dave 1 for 2. He is singled, driven in a run, and struck out. Ryan, big breath. Got him for number 10. Stretch time, 2-1 Houston. So Ron's going to have an interesting decision to make. Ryan not quite at his pitch count, but he's due to bat 4th here in the 7th in a 1-run game. So Hatcher, Meadows, and Biggio to face Hershiser here in the 7th. Billy is singled twice. He's 2 for 2. 2-1 Stros here in the bottom of the 7th. Slow chopper over the mound. Anderson's got it. Throws to Stubbs at first. 1 out. So here's Louis Meadows. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Fly ball, right center. Shelby, 2 out. So Biggio can make it academic if Hershiser can retire him here. Craig 1 for 2, an RBI, single, and a strikeout. Hershiser's to pitch. Got him. So that's 5 for Hershiser. And that'll do it. Astros go in order in the 7th and still lead it 2-1. So Ryan, they'd like to milk him here now. How you doing, Scotty? To get him through. This will be his last inning either way, because he's due to lead off the 8th. See what they do with Hershiser, who's 0 for 2. And Hershiser's day is done. So he cannot win it. He can lose it. Mike Davis as a pinch hitter, 200 with an RBI. Overall, 220, 3 triples, and 14 RBI. Dodgers have won 9-10 coming in and have overtaken the Reds for first place in the West by half a game. Right center, Young 1 out. Scotty says he'll be doing better after a couple runs. Stay away from the X-Lax then, okay? So Ryan, 27 batters, 124 pitches, 7 1/3, 3 hits, 2 walks, and 10 strikeouts. Sacks 0 for 3 with a K. So Friday night, when we do this on the tube, remember there's a big delay, and we won't be able to respond to you as fast as we normally do on Twitch. Base hit down the line and right. So Meadows has to go get it. Sachs should have 2 here. Meadows throws. He's going for 3. The throw is to Doran and directly to third. And that is Sachs' first triple of the year. So it'll be Franklin Stubbs, who's 0 for 3 with a K. So the tying run is on third and 1 out. And the infield playing in. Advantage still was with Ryan. And he draws the walk now. So 1 on, or 2 on and 1 out. And that'll do it for Nolan. So the lefty Gibson will face the lefty Augusto. Juan has not won his last 3 decisions. He's 0-3, 37 appearances, a 4.83 ERA. Scotty, the birthday boy, getting giddy. Juan is 30, fastball at 84, and a ground ball pitcher. He last pitched against the Dodgers 2 days ago in a 5-0 win. Well, only Dodger lost the last 10 days. He went 1 inning, 16 pitches and a hit. So Augusto, 41 innings, 44 hits, 23 runs, 22 earned, 4 homers. He's walked 18, then struck out 13. So lefty versus lefty here. And what the Astros wants, a ground ball. Augusto delivers. Gibson strikes out. A 1-2 fastball that Gibson chased. 2 out for Mike Marshall, who is 0 for 1, a walk and a strikeout. So still, the tying run on third for the Dodgers, the go-ahead run on first. Sacks down the line, Marshall into left center. Gerald Young retreating, going back. Off the wall, this game is tied. Stubbs around third, and Scotty got his 2 runs. The Dodgers lead it 3-2. You're welcome. Happy birthday. So Augusto kicks the mound in disgust. How the hell did you do that, Scotty? So here's Shelby, 1 for 3. And now you know why the Dodgers have kind of put the pedal to the metal. This is game 75 for them and 76 for Houston. Pitch to Shelby. Walked. So Augusto can't really get anybody. Yep, the Dodgers came back. They've got 2 here in the 8th. A 3-1 fastball or curveball missed upstairs. And now I'll bring up Sosha, who's 1 for 3. Into right. Meadows will make the catch, and that'll do it. Mickey Hatcher will play right field for the Dodgers. Yep, Nolan Ryan, if it wasn't for bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. On the wrong end now of a 3-2 game. So Hatcher, a 5 and a 9 in right. And Alejandro Pena will be here to pitch the 8th, not the 9th, because he's due up third in the 9th. Pena is 4 and 3, making his 31st appearance, a 2.79 ERA. Fastball at 92 and a ground ball pitcher. Pena last pitched last night against the Astros. in a 3-0 win for the Dodgers. He did get the 4 outs, striking out 2 on 16 pitches for the save. So 38 2/3, 34 hits, 14 runs, 12 earned, 2 home runs. He's walked 8 and struck out 38. And if this is a save chance for him, he's 5 of 8. Astros can find out who can hit a righty, and it will be Terry Poole. Poole is a pinch hitter, hitting 160 with 4 RBI, overall 304 with 8 RBI. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. They've left on 6. The Astros, 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors, and they have left on 3. Base hit left field. So Hamilton with a bad play. And the tying run is on. Nobody out. Top of the lineup for Gerald Young. Gerald is 0 for 3. Not in a good position to bunt. Dodgers guard the lines. Throw to first. Pull back. Ball 4. So first and second, nobody out for Craig Reynolds. Again, not really in a position to bunt. Dorn, who homered on deck, and then Davis. They guard the lines. I'm going to try it. Reynolds squares. It's down, and it will work. Throw to Sachs covering at first, and everybody moves up 90. So Billy Doran hit his 3rd of the year. How you doing, Mike in the truck? Drove in run 25. He's 1 for 2. So Young with good speed is the go-ahead run. And Dave Smith lurking in the pen. Poole on 3rd. Slow ground ball. Sachs looks the runner back to 3rd. They throw to Stubbs, and Doran is retired. So 2 out, 2 out for Glenn Davis, who is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. So the wheels turning here. Buddy Bell on deck. Pena, deep breath. Ground ball to Sachs. Over to Stubbs. And the Dodgers get out of it unscathed. No runs, a hit, and a couple left on. We go to the 9th here at the Dome. 3-2 Dodgers. As Jamie says, Augusto was more disgusto, and now he must go. You know, I really should have read that one in Opera Man's voice. Augusto was more disgusto, and now he must go. There. And this Adam Sandler flashback. Larry Anderson will come in. Dodger fans breathing a sigh of relief here. So Poole playing right. Don't quit my day job. This is my day job. Poole a 5 and a 3 in right. So Meadows' day is done. Anderson making his 26th appearance, 35 years old. Fastball 87 and a ground ball pitcher. And if your doggies just woke up, hello. Anderson 1-1, 26 appearances, a 3.23 ERA. Hasn't pitched since the 25th, a 5-3 loss to the Giants, who are still in the National League despite some people asking. 20 pitches, 1 inning, a run, and a walk. The run was not earned. Anderson 30 2/3, 29 hits, 13 runs, 11 earned, 2 homers. He's walked 13 and struck out 25. Hamilton, Anderson, and a pinch hitter, I would think, in the 9th for the Dodgers. Jeff is 0 for 3. Nolan Ryan struck him out twice. Ground ball to first. Davis waits for it. Over to Anderson. 1 away. For the Astros in the ninth, Bell, Hatcher, and a pinch hitter. Anderson 1 for 3. A single. Has struck out twice and driven in a run. Apparently the Chad is not a fan of my Opperman impression. Pitch to Anderson. Here's a ground ball to Larry Anderson, and Anderson can't retire Anderson. Is that an error? It is. It bounced off Larry's glove, and by the time that Larry Anderson found it, Dave Anderson was on first. He kicked it. So 1 out. If Pena bats here, he's 0 for 3. He bats and drives this one into right field for a base hit. Dave goes to third, runners on the corners, and 1 out. And I think somewhere in a field of goats in Washington, a man sits there cackling with an evil laugh, stroking a cat on his lap. Until Scotty came in here, this was the Astros game. My goodness. So first and third, and Alejandro Pena with a hit. Here's Sachs. He's 1 for 4. With a triple, a strikeout, and a run scored. First and third, Sachs up the middle. Reynolds will stop it. They're going to try for 2. Doran for 1, and Davis for 2. And Anderson will not score. So the error does not hurt. And we go to the bottom of the ninth. It's the Dodgers 3, the Astros 2. So the Dodgers are going to lean on Alejandro Pena to pick up his 6th save. Bell, Hatcher, and a pinch hitter. Buddy 1 for 3. With a strikeout and a run scored. Houston needs 1 to tie and 2 to win. Struck him out. Pena got him on a 1-2 fastball in there at the knees. 1 away. So here's Hatcher. Billy has singled twice. He's 2 for 3. In the left center, Shelby will make the catch, and there's 2 outs. So last chance saloon for the Astros. And it will be Rafael Ramirez. Holy skip carry, Batman. So Ramirez does not have a pinch hit. Overall, hitting .266, 2 homers, and 21 RBI. 3-2 Dodgers here in the bottom of the ninth, 2 out. And there's a base hit in the left center field. Rafi takes a long turn around first, but will hold right there. So the tying run is on, and Craig Biggio, the kid, is the winning run at the plate. He's 23 years old, playing in his 3rd game of the year. And now they take a look and go, do we want Trevino? Or they're going to go pinch hit for him. I know he's a Hall of Famer now, but he won in 1988. So Alex Trevino, as a pinch hitter, has 2, no, he doesn't have a pinch hit appearance. Hitting .300, 2 homers, and 9 RBI. Again, he is the winning run at the plate with 2 out. Dodger fans rocking back and forth in their seats. Pena deals. Ground ball to third. Hamilton's got it. Goes across the way to Stubbs. And the Dodgers will win this one by the score 3-2. So 3 hours and 16 minutes of fake baseball for you. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. They leave on 7. 2 runs, 7 hits, and an error for the Astros, and they leave on 6. Scotty's just laughing his butt off. Jamie said, what about the rough luck for Nolan Ryan? Yep, he falls to 4-10. Hershiser gets his 8th win. You'll see him in a couple rigged. I saw you say that last night, too. Hershiser will be making an appearance in Cincinnati in a couple weeks for the All-Star game. 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned. The home run to Doran. A walk and 5 strikeouts, and Alejandro Pena gets the 6-out save. 2 innings, 2 hits, a walk and a strikeout. Ryan 4-10 now, 7 1/3, 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He walked 3 and struck out 10. Augusto blew the save, his 3rd. Gives up a hit on 2/3 of an inning, and Larry Anderson a hit and an inning. So the Dodgers' lead over the Reds is now a game. And as we play the rest of this Wednesday afternoon, June 29th, last stream, by the way, for the month of June. The Giants beat the Braves, get this, in 11 innings. 11-4. So the Braves bullpen just kind of coughs up 17 hairballs. Price with a win, 3-1. Alvarez with a loss, 2-2. The Giants struck out 16 times. Thomas, 2 for 5, his 10th, and drives in 2. Oh, we got a no-hitter. We'll get to that in a minute. Cubs beat the Phils 8-6 in 11. Al Nipper, 4-3. Bedrosian falls to 1-3. Mark Grace, 3 for 4, 2 RBI, and a double. So the no-hitter, it is not a perfect game. Bannister goes to 7-7. He no-hits the White Sox. The real White Sox have been, what, shut out 8 times in 22 games? Bannister walked the batter. The Royals had 2 errors, and he got 2 strikeouts. But Bannister goes to 7-7, so a no-hitter. He walked Fred Manrique, just in case you're wondering. And the errors were Kurt Stillwell and Frank White. So a no-hitter there. Oakland beat Milwaukee in the game we were going to do, 6-2. Bob Welch goes to 7-7. Wegman goes and opens up a grocery store. He's 5-6. Ron Hassey, 2 for 4, his 3rd, and drives in 2. Orioles 5-2 over the Jays. Wow. Bautista, 2-6. Jimmy Key, 0-2. Cal Ripken, 2 for 3, his 11th. The Reds beat the Padres 2-1. Burtz is 3-2. Eric Schau, he never recovered from giving up Pete Rose's record-breaking hit. He falls to 4-8. Cal Daniels, 3 for 3 with a double, and please don't eat your Cal Daniels rookie cards. Mets beat the Pirates 4-2 in Pittsburgh. David Cohn goes to 9-2. Bob Watt falls to 6-5. Darryl Strawberry hits his 20th. He's 2 for 3 with a triple. Yankees in 11 beat the Tigers 5-4. Righetti 2-4. Henneman 2-3. Lemon hits his 13th. He's 2 for 4 with a double. Jim Rice goes 4 for 4, drives in 2. Clemens beats the Indians 6-5. Roger 9-5. Doug Jones goes to 3-1. Expos beat the Cardinals 3-1. Denny Martinez gets his 8th. Danny Cox loses his 2nd. Tom Bernansky hits his 5th of the year. He's 2 for 4. We told you about the no-hitter. Texas beat Seattle 6-3. Huff 6-7. Moore falls to 6-7. Last but not least, the Twins nearly double up the Angels 9-5. Dolly, could we have Boston in the postseason? We might. Alan Anderson gets his 8th win. Chuck Finley falls to 6-5. Dan Gladden 2 for 4, his 5th of the year with a triple. Yeah, the real-life White Sox are 3-20, and thankfully for Astro fans, they're keeping all the attention off of Houston. All right, the YouTube special is going to be, speaking of the Red Sox and Royals, 6 p.m. Friday night on the tube. And when we're with you on Monday here on Twitch, we're not replacing Twitch, but we might do some primetime games on YouTube. It'll be Oakland and Toronto to finish off the week. And on doubleheader day on Tuesday. Seattle and Detroit for the 4th of July, and the Mets and the Reds. And so there we go. All-Star break coming up. So thank you so much. So we're taping tomorrow. We're talking Knicks basketball tomorrow at noon Eastern. We're taping for that one for the Digital Dice. And then Friday night at 6 on YouTube, it'll be the Red Sox and the Royals. And so tell all your friends about it. You know, if people start watching on YouTube, we'll do some primetime games there. Have a good day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you Friday night. So long, everybody.